2 Kings chapter 2, the men of the city come to Elisha and they say, look, the water here is bad and the land is barren, it miscarries. And so Elisha says, bring me a jar and put salt in it. And he went to the spring of waters and threw the salt into it to heal the waters and the land. Now, salt was thought to be associated with barren land and water that couldn't be drunk. Several times in the Bible you read that the water was too salty, couldn't be drunk, and the land had salt on it, so it was barren. But here God says, take salt and put it in the water, and therefore on the land. In other words, God's way of dealing with human problems is totally counterintuitive. It is totally counter-instinctive. It's rather like the Lord Jesus healing a blind man by making mud out of his spittle and putting mud on the blind man's eyes, as if to make him even more blind. This is how God works. And it's, again, hard for us to get used to him, because we are used to smart solutions and answers that are logical and that work and are worked out by man. But when you put your hand, your little hand, in God's, and when you surrender to him, and you ask him into your life, and you tell him that I want above all things to be in your kingdom, and I want to be spiritual and not sinful, you will find that his whole style with you is counter-instinctive, counter-intuitive. At first blush, you think, no, that doesn't make sense. That's not the way to do it. But as Paul says, the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. We are asked to have a totally different pair of eyes through which we view life. And of course it is through the things that man counts as foolishness that we shall finally come to God's kingdom. Through, as Paul says, the foolishness of the thing that we preach, the apparent foolishness. That we should give our all for a man we've never seen, who lived and who died and resurrected and is now in heaven. Yes. And the whole way of the Spirit is not the way of the flesh at all.